Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And I've been receiving requests for a few weeks already now to talk about this. I wasn't going to talk about this because it's not really related to the show, and it kind of seems a bit irrelevant. But then I kind of thought about it, and people really want me to talk about this. So, I mean, maybe I can now that I've kind of thought about it for a while and talk about it in the relevance to the product. So we're talking about Becky Lynch giving Stone Cold, the Stone Cold Stunner, during the ending credits on his show, on Stone Cold's show, which is Straight Up Steve Austin. So this is a show where basically Stone Cold goes around, with different celebrities. They had I think it was Dan Earnhardt, like race car driver, and a few other, celebrities. And, he'll like go around and, they'll joke around and everything. They'll ride around in his truck and all that. So they wasted no time getting a WWE superstar onto the show. Of course, I mean, it's Stone Cold, but, I kind of hate, when these wrestlers, try to branch off into other avenues and the wrestling just follows them. It's why can't they just have a career outside of wrestling? But of course we have to bring in Becky Lynch, and it's so obvious, all the comparisons to Stone Cold and everything, even though there's very little there to compare other than the two having badass in Becky's case, badass characters. I don't know why she needed to be on there. I don't know, out of all these celebrities that Stone Cold has on the show, why did I have to have Becky Lynch? They can't find any other celebrities. They have to go for the most convenient one that's right there on right there on the USA Network. I mean, come on. Honestly, they have to have Becky Lynch of all people. Why not John Cena? That would even fit more into it. Okay, that guy's a wrestler, and he's a movie star. He's a lot of other things. So why couldn't they pick that guy? I don't get, why Becky Lynch of all people? Why did they have to go for her? But, it's Becky Lynch, and of course, so, they're going around, and, we learned that, Becky is she's a vegetarian, so they go to a food truck, a green food truck, and, I don't even know, this show, I like Steve Austin. You guys know he's my favorite wrestler of all time. He's the funniest, he's the most entertaining. I mean, just, the guy is everything that a legend should be, and everything that a favorite wrestler should encompass when someone asks you what your favorite wrestler is. I mean, so I don't have to tell you how great Stone Cold is. If you don't think Stone Cold is great, you're lying, or you probably don't really like WWE or the Attitude Era all that much. So whatever the case may be. They have Becky Lynch on here, and so whatever, it's another show for Stone Cold. He had the Broken Skull Ranch, and now we're on to this show. So I think that this show is a little bit more digestible for the common man, for the common audience that might have not been into the Broken Skull Ranch, reality show TV. That was more of a competition. This is more regular reality TV, just where they're messing around and stuff. So, there's a bit more appeal there. So, why bring on Becky Lynch? And of all things, if you're going to be appealing to a mainstream audience, why the hell did they end up back in the ring at the end of the episode? And, he toasts Becky Lynch, doing the Stone Cold character, and Becky Lynch doing her character. And she kicks Stone Cold, hits him with the stunner. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, he's older now and everything like that. There's rumors that Stone Cold is going to have one more match. And I hope to God that he doesn't have another match. I am getting so sick and tired of, like all of a sudden, we can't build stars, we don't want to take any responsibility for not pushing all the right wrestlers. Like, there's no excuse why Roman Reigns is, not held in higher regard. Like, what happened? They all cowered before the Smarks and, all these fans that now they're catering to, all the, smarky indie fans. Oh, you don't like Reigns? We're going to pull back the reins on him. And then, you've got guys like Elias, and I don't have to go through this song and dance. They don't build stars, so we have to go back to The Undertaker. And Goldberg, Goldberg was a guy that they basically screwed over, a decade and a half ago, and now they keep coming back to Goldberg now all of a sudden. They had so many stars that, when Goldberg left the company, they still had quite a few to rely on. Not as many as they used to, but, we're talking about the Ruthless Aggression era. Things were, I remember people were saying things were steadily declining, and they were, but they still, had some pretty decent star power there. So now it's like, they're making like Goldberg was always there for them, and now they're really going back to him. They're going back to The Undertaker. So they really, really relying hardcore on these stars. So, of course, Stone Cold is going to be the next in line. So, I don't know, WWE, maybe Vince McMahon, or probably Triple H or Stephanie probably approached Stone Cold and asked them, is it okay if Stone Cold Cringey Lynch gives you a stunner on your own show? Now, I was thinking to myself, okay, so this didn't actually happen on the wrestling, so that didn't happen on Raw, it didn't happen on SmackDown, it didn't happen on a pay-per-view, so it's like you could say it doesn't count, right? But then I kind of thought about it for a moment, and then I kind of realized why, people just probably want to see my reaction to it, and I thank you guys for that, for, wanting to see my reaction to something at all. But we need to, ask this question. At least on wrestling, we know that's fake. Now, we know reality shows are, maybe not all fake, but they're definitely exaggerated. So, I need to bring this to the table. Is it probably worse that it is a reality show and that this is removed from wrestling? And because of that, I think it's actually worse that Becky Lynch gives a Stone Cold Stunner to Stone Cold. And let's be honest, have you ever taken a stunner fooling around with your friends? It doesn't hurt. The move doesn't hurt. Didn't you ever have somebody did you try pulling their neck down? Unless you do it with all your strength, you're gonna break that person's neck. Do you really? Do you really think that if two normal sized men can't even pull each other down for a move, do you think that Becky Lynch, who weighs 100 pounds maybe, soaking wet, could bring down Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's in incredible shape? He's, I would think he's probably still 252 or something. Those weights are made up half the time, but whatever he is, 230, 240 pounds. Do you really think that Becky Lynch, Stone Cold Cringey Lynch, could bring down Stone Cold with a stunner? And what I'm saying is okay, well that's wrestling. That would still be completely ridiculous if it happened on Raw. But you know what? It didn't happen on Raw. It happened on the reality show of all things, where things are supposed to at least look real. Where you're supposed to at least believe that's reality, even though some of it is probably scripted. The fact that a Stone Cold Stunner, even took place on a show like that, that's not even supposed to be about wrestling. It's about a former wrestler. But a fake move is being delivered to Stone Cold, a big dude. He's not a gigantic dude, but he's pretty big, and like I said, he's been working out, and the guy is looking pretty damn good. I would even say that the guy's arms look bigger than when he was actually in the ring. But he was probably training differently then, You know, a lot of them also train for cardio, so it's probably also why The Rock wasn't as big and jacked as he is now. People are gonna argue obviously with that, but you get my point. So how, with all that information on reality, do I even need to explain this? Well, I'm doing a video, so of course I'm gonna have to explain it. But I'm saying, how is Cringey Lynch taking Stone Cold down with that stunner? Now, I know people are going to say, oh, you're taking it too seriously. He did it as a joke. It's supposed to be funny. Usually after, toasting somebody would be Stone Cold, giving the Stone Cold stunner to somebody. But now it's, but instead it's Becky Lynch who people compare her to. And, it's funny, because it's a girl doing it to a man. So it's funny, but it's really not. Because this sort of thing we've already seen, if you're a WWE fan or viewer, you're going to be kind of used to this kind of thing. So you don't want to see this. Well, I mean, if you're one of the smarks, you'll probably, and I saw the comments on the video of when I watched it on YouTube. People are like, that's so awesome that he did that to her, and look how Stone Cold sold his own stunner, and Becky gave a better stunner than Kevin Owens did. I'm like, how are people reacting to this in a positive manner? How are they reacting to it and not pointing out the obvious, that it's stupid? How is no one saying that this is, A, stupid, B, dumb, C, completely ridiculous and unbelievable? No one says that. No one says that at all. I looked through 20 comments in a row, and they're all like, oh, wow! I'm like, huh? What? How are you all not watching this and looking at it like this is complete garbage? And I've seen people on here before, say oh, you don't like anything, never mind the positive movie reviews that I've done, or my retro wrestling reviews, or my movie reviews, or so many positive things that have been posted on this channel, but people ignore it because for whatever reason, they like to pretend like this product is good, just like they like to pretend that AEW is good or something like that, So I'm just saying, maybe I just have, a better taste in things. Maybe I actually have standards. Oh, couldn't be right, standards. Not liking everything just because we're told that it's good. No, it couldn't be that, right? It's me being super negative. Ooh, I'm being negative again, guys, because I don't like to see a 100-pound woman stunning a 200-plus pound guy. Not only just a guy, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the most iconic wrestlers, with the exception of Hulk Hogan. I mean, come on, guys. Are we being honest here? Or The Rock, come on. Really? Are we sitting here and actually trying to pass this off in a positive light? I mean, to me, this just kills any opportunity that Stone Cold has at acting or having a really successful show. I'm just saying, why did they have to do this? Why is he giving Becky Lynch a rub? What has Becky ever done for him? Now, I'll know that Stone Cold's probably doing this out of kindness, and he probably wants to help out Becky. I'm sure Becky Lynch is a nice person behind the scenes, and we're all gonna say that, okay, I'm not saying that, but, really, the way how this looks, it's bad PR, it looks stupid, you would never see, I know people are gonna, well, probably not, but I'm just saying, Hulk Hogan appeared in the tutu, right? What was that? what was that movie that he was? I can't even remember at the moment. But whatever the case may be, you know, there's been moments where wrestlers didn't look as tough, but that's different. It wasn't like a girl beating up Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was doing it to try to entertain children because he was babysitting in that movie. So, you know what I'm saying? There's reasons for certain things, but there was no reason for this. This was just making Stone Cold look like a complete and utter fool. You know, I can't even say, like, did Becky Lynch benefit from this in any way? No, because first of all, it was on a show. You could obviously tell it was fake. And I don't see, like, anyone who's, like, a non-wrestling fan, like, watching that and enjoying it. Like, oh, wow, that was really good. You know, like, I just see people like, huh, like, what? Like, how is she doing that to him? You know, why are they, like, play fighting like that? It doesn't even make any sense. And if it's not going, if, you know, if Vince or Triple H thought that was maybe going to, like, cross the audiences and maybe draw in a new crowd for WWE or whatever on the USA Network for Raw or NXT, they're sadly mistaken, because I think it had the exact opposite effect. I think people probably watched it and said how stupid that looked. So there you go, guys. There's my analysis of Becky Lynch, Cringey Lynch, Stone Cold Cringey Lynch, giving the Stone Cold Stunner to Stone Cold Steve Austin. So there you go, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you're all satisfied that I finally talked about it after you guys asking me for like several weeks already. And yeah, thank you guys for all watching. Go follow me over on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/TheBradRulesLive for some great live streams. And of course, subscribe to me here if you haven't already. And click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. And guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.